Yes, sir, what's poppin' and why? You already know it's your host, Mrcakeave in the building. Yes, sir, you already know we live on that Mrcakeave app, available on every device, Apple, Android, and Windows. We on your mama's tablet, we on your auntie's cell phone. You already know Spreaker.com is the only place where you could get the show live. Hit us in the cake room, in the chat room. You could also find the rebroadcast on all the major markets: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox. You already know we on everything, baby. Yes, sir. Today, very, very special R.I.P. to the man, the legend, Harley Race, 8-time world heavyweight champion, NWA champion. You already know Harley Race passed away at 76 years old. Everybody's showing him love. Everybody's posting pictures. You know, you see him with pictures with Sylvester Stallone. You know what I'm saying? They also, I think Ric Flair said, it's a quote, you know, without no Harley Race, there wouldn't be a Ric Flair. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, you know, they just said one of the greatest wrestlers to ever live. So R.I.P. Harley Race. We're going to keep it going. Lil Nas X is in the news again, getting sued for $25 million. It's like he was just in the news for being the biggest artist in the world, knocking everybody off, you know, breaking records. And he's back in the news, getting sued for $25 million. I don't know how true it is, you know, if it's, you know, really plagiarism or what's going on. But a lot of people are talking about it. And Lil Nas X, I don't know, man. I don't know if, you know, he's going to be good. We'll see. As time goes on, we'll keep you posted on that story. Also in the news, R. Kelly's in the news, man. You know, begging to get on bail, begging to get on bond. Talking about he will not be around no young girls. He is gonna be good. He's gonna do what he gotta do. I don't know how that's gonna work when allegedly 20 tapes done came out. Or they said they had 20 tapes or something like that people having evidence now. I don't know how you gonna try to get around that one. So, you know. Also, another celebrity behind bars, A$AP Rocky. A$AP Rocky today is continuing his trial. You already know. I heard some of the, the audio. But he said he's facing some time, you know what I'm saying? And he's trying to come home. So I don't know where's Trump and all this. You know, Trump said he was going to try to help him get out or something. But I don't really see nothing. It's this ongoing case, ongoing trial. And I don't really think, you know what I mean, nobody's really going to do nothing for him. So we just going to have to see what happens. We will be keeping you posted on that story, because that's definitely a story that we are keeping track of. AEW back in the news, new stories, new everything coming out. As you may have heard on our previous shows, October 2nd will be the first show that they have on TNT. And they also announced that they will be naming the first women's champion as well. So basically, the match between Kenny Omega, Adam Page and Jericho. I believe that's at All Out. And then on October 2nd, they will be naming the first women's champion for AEW. You already know. Also on that show, Chris Jericho will be having a match versus the Young Bucks and I believe Kenny Omega with two of his own partners of his choosing. Now, I put up two ideas. They got Private Party, a team that is with AEW already, and then they have a couple other teams that you might want to see them with. My suggestions was I put the Hart Foundation and Private Party are two choices that I think might be able to do it. But also, I think Ryan Satin said LAX. If I'm not correct, I don't really remember right off the top of my head. But those three kind of make it, who would be a good match to work with Jericho against these, Young Bucks. So I really don't know. Hit me in the cake room and let me know what you think. If, what tag team do you think will tag with Jericho on October 2nd? I want to thank everybody for joining us. Mrcakeave On-Air. You already know we on everything. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And we working on getting Deezer real soon. You already know. Check us out on everything. YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with a friend. You already know. Trump back in the news. Now he's talking about he's going to cure AIDS and cancer. I think he's taking it just a little too far with this new campaign. If that's his campaign, that he's curing cancer and AIDS, I don't know. I don't know how he feels that's gonna help his campaign. But it is what it is. And breaking news today, on sale today. If you don't know, definitely show some love. Definitely get some tickets. Watch the show. You already know. I definitely want to see how that show is definitely going to come out on August 2nd. October 2nd. I definitely want to see that show. I don't know if they said the name yet. I know they said when they debut and all that, but I don't think they said the name yet. So, you're going to have to stay tuned. There's a lot of new announcements coming up on Twitter from all these different companies. I want to say a very special happy Friday to everybody out there. Also, it's Follow Back Friday. So you know what that means. If you follow me on Twitter, you will get an automatic follow back today. You already know. Mrcakeave, if you want to hit me up, Mrcakeave On-Air. You already know. At Mrcakeave on Twitter or MrCakeAveBeats@gmail.com. You already know. Like, I don't really know what's going on. There's so much crazy shit going on. I seen a lot of posts of people getting stabbed. One dude walked down the block. He just nutted on some white girl that was sitting on a porch. A prison guard just got 25 years for raping inmates. What's going on? It's so crazy. All these different things is going down. For the last few weeks, people been splashing cops with water in their face and their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Going overboard, like taking it so overboard, splashing people, and it's getting out of hand. You know what I'm saying? The cops are taking their time to find these people and make examples of these people and show like this is not something that they want happening. And this is not something that should be happening. So I don't know. It's not a good example to be showing the kids to do that to the cops and shit. But you know, at the end of the day, people are getting tired. You know what I'm saying? It's like people are saying it that you could kill people, you could murder people, you could choke people out. Eric Gardner killing people, doing all this other shit, and niggas don't get no time. But you got people that splash a cup of water, and it's crazy. It's, you know what I mean? You gotta find these people. They gotta be brought to justice. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? And it do make sense. So, you know, before you start going in and telling, oh, these people, oh, it's bad to splash the cops. Yes, I understand that. But the way things is going, y'all making a big deal if somebody gets splashed with water in their mouth. But if a man gets shot, how many times we seen it? People running away getting shot in their back. How many times we seen it? Eric Gardner never had a weapon. Even in my hood, many years ago, Amadou Diallo, he got shot all those times, and he didn't have nothing on him. He didn't even have a gun or nothing. So before we start talking about justice and all that, and protecting the cops and the police and all that, think about the people, you know, and the people in these neighborhoods that's getting tired of getting abused and mistreated, but y'all want the utmost respect. So that really don't make no sense. This is Mrcakeave On-Air. You already know. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Available on every device, Apple, Android, and Windows. If you want to watch the show live, make sure you get the Spreaker app. Available on all markets, all devices. And you already know the rebroadcast is on everything. iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. And we soon gonna have Deezer real soon. So you already know. If you want to hit me up at Mrcakeave or MrCakeAveBeats@gmail.com. Make sure you check out mustsenyc.weebly.com. Submit your art now. #1 website for independent media. Promote yourself, whatever you do. If you sing, if you dance, if you rap, whatever kind of videos you have, we accept most embedded systems, SoundClouds, Reverb Nation, YouTube, almost everything. Right now, we're not accepting Vivos. If anybody has a YouTube on Vivo, we do not accept Vivos at this time. But you already know you could be next and be showcased on the website absolutely free. No sign up, no gimmicks, no issues. Make sure you hit me up. R.I.P. Harley Race. You already know, 8-time world heavyweight champion Harley Race passed away at the age of 76. You already know, one time for him. I want to thank everybody for joining me on today's show. You already know, happy Friday, Follow Back Friday. Make sure you hit the follow button, subscribe, and like I always say, stay up and stay strong. Enjoy your weekend. You already know, free ASAP. Hashtag free ASAP.